Tottenham 2, Liverpool 1, and what absolute scenes at the end of the game. Yes, guys. Hello and welcome back to the SpursRelated YouTube channel and podcast. As you can tell by the tone of my voice, it's a little bit more upbeat than 2 days ago when we were previewing the game, when it was a bit nervous, a bit tense. And we've got the same panel on again just to go through an absolute Tottenham robbery of Liverpool last night at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham 2, Liverpool 1. When I say Liverpool, there was only 9 of them on the pitch, and one of them was the goalkeeper at the end. So we'll get into things. We'll get into the controversy of the game because it has caused an awful lot of uproar on social media, of course, and in the football world. But as I said, I'm joined alongside Jack, who is absolutely buzzing, who did the vlog yesterday, and we've got Ruby back on, who just before we got on to the video now. So
never.
We quickly start with Jack, because Jack, I know you did the vlog yesterday and you were there and it was absolute chaos. Vlog's doing very well. Appreciate all the support. Jack, just talk me through the scenes at the end of that game yesterday.
I'll tell you what, it's been a long time overdue, especially against Liverpool. I'm sure Ruby's absolutely buzzing with how it ended, and like the rest of the South Stand. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't perfect. Let's be honest here, but we got the job done. We're second in the league. I'm feeling good. I don't know how long it's going to last, but yeah, buzzing that Ruby's back on the channel because I'm sure she's got a lot of things to say.
Yeah, exactly that. And credit where credit's due. She's turned up. She said she wanted to review it, whether it was win, draw, or loss. And I messaged today thinking, oh, she might be hiding behind this one, but she wants to say a few things. And fair play, because I'd be fuming. I'm not even going to pretend I wouldn't be fuming, because the PGMOL even came out about half an hour to an hour after the game yesterday and said they made a human error mistake yet again. Seems to be most weeks in the Premier League at the moment. Ruby, obviously, how are you doing in general? Are you pretty pissed off? Are you feeling okay? Are you used to it? What's the general feeling?
It's weird, like, it's annoying, but I'm not like proper pissed off, because it's like it seems to be a reoccurring thing, especially when it's against like very vital opponents for us. Obviously people are saying, oh, blah de blah, like moaning about the wind and all that in the derby years ago, but like it actually goes back all the way to when Sterling still played for us, when decisions have been going wrong against us. So I'm not vexed, I'm not fuming. It's just like, oh, another one. It just makes the league so boring, and it just makes every kind of possibility that you're like, oh, is this wrong? Is like, why are they doing this now? Why are they not doing that? It just makes you be like, oh, I can't be asked. Like, how is the women's, obviously the women's league and the women's players and things like that, that's all on the rise. But how is their technology in the World Cup so much better and so much more accurate, like that 3D thing, than what we've got in the VAR that we've got in the Prem? And we were actually offered that at the start of the season, and the Prem said no. So that just in itself shows, okay, so you've got no control over that because it's 3D, people. Like, usually you see the lines for, let's say, Diaz's goal, you see the lines. There was none of that. Even Gary fucking Neville was saying,
he was
Neville was like, listen, I feel so sorry, and that's me going soft because I'm United, blah de blah. Come on, if he's giving us sympathy, how wrong has it got to be?
Yeah, that's when you know. That's when you know it's completely wrong. But going back to what you said about like the 3D, 4D VAR technology, I thought that was incredible. And you can clearly see when there's a body part that's in front of the last defender, and it's much better. And I just quickly talk me through your thoughts on that. Obviously, that disallowed goal, because I was sat there in the pub just thinking, how have they got this so wrong? Like, they didn't even draw the lines properly. they didn't even really.
They didn't actually show the replay. They didn't show the replay with the lines on like they usually do, because they even said on the post-match commentary, around the little table thing, that the decision was made so quick, the actual footage wouldn't have had time to go back to the studio, get the lines drawn on, and then come back and the decision be made, because it was within 30 seconds. So that's too quick of a turnover.
I think that's so
many stupid decisions. And what were you going to say, Jack? Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think they're so worried about making sure it's quicker now, because last year it took 3-4 minutes to make a decision. But let's be honest, it's such a massive part of the game. I think Curtis Jones had just been sent off, and you've took the lead, which is massive, because with your defenders, you could easily hold on, and they were rushing the on-field decision. They've got a whole team of people as well. I think at the end of the day, the main thing is you need consistency, and there's been a massive lack of it.
Yeah, 100%. And even I do think that the Curtis red card was very, very harsh. I think you're being very, very harsh. What's that from?
This is where I don't agree, because that was for me 100% a red card. I mean, he's gone in stud showing. Yes, they've slowed it down and got stills of him almost breaking his leg. But in my book, it's dangerous play if you've nearly broken someone's leg. Studs showing on the shin. Like,
no, but he's trying to pull the ball back.
Yeah,
I get your point, but also, if he'd have snapped his leg, is it a red card? He can't stay on the pitch if he snapped his leg. So we shouldn't be judging if it's red or yellow based on if he's injured the player. He did injure Basuma. Luckily, he was okay, but he could have very easily snapped his leg. And for me, that I would be saying it genuinely if the Tottenham played it the other way around. I think it's a red card.
He never injured him because he was up playing the rest of the game. The one he on
But what I'm saying is, it shouldn't be judged if it's a red or yellow based on if he snapped their leg. Be honest, could he have snapped his leg on that challenge? Yes, he could have. So it's dangerous play.
No. James, there wasn't enough force in that challenge. Was not. He never went in with intention. He never went in to be like, oh shit, I've lost the ball here. He's tried to pull the ball away. His foot went over the ball. And then in the slow-mo, it looks a lot worse, which is fair play. But then even again, that just shows the kind of, obviously everyone's throwing around the word like corruption and stuff now. But like, how come as soon as the refs went over, it's freeze framed on Basuma's leg, pure bending everywhere, when if you watch the whole thing in real time, it's not that bad. And anything looks worse in slow-mo. Anything.
Because Ruby, I was literally right in front of the challenge, and in real time, it felt a bit dirty, but it wasn't like an intentional to go over the ball to hit him. It was like he slipped under the ball. So I think it's a 50-50 one, because when you slow anything down, it's always going to look much worse. And it was a dirty challenge, but it wasn't with the intent of endangering an opponent, which is a red card offence. So I think
it's just making the game. Sorry.
No, I was just saying that I think it was a great game of football. That first 15 minutes, we were going either end. You were like, yes, we're actually in for a proper treat today. And it took the sting out of the game, because Liverpool's attacking threat wasn't as good, because you had one man less. And it meant Tottenham had more of the ball. But because you sat in behind and you were so strong and resilient, it kind of took that sting away from Tottenham as well. So it's frustrating from a football point of view. But you have seen worse given as well. So like I said, I just think it's all about consistency.
So, Jack, just quickly, do you think it was a red card or not?
In the real game there, I wasn't 100% sure in real time. I didn't feel like it was. But then when they show it on the screen after, and you got 60,000 Spurs
slow-mo,
and it goes to the screen, you know it's only going to be one decision. And sitting in a Spurs fan, of course you're going to want the red card. If it was at Anfield, everyone's going to want the red card. You're supporting your team.
We don't even have a screen. We don't have a screen. What are you on about? Sorry, bastards. You've got all kinds, you.
Oh, yeah, all right. I can feel the jealousy through the screen, just because we've got a lovely stadium.
It's probably like what is it? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? You've probably all got buttons under your seat or something.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, eh?
That's where our transfer budget goes as well. But listen, okay, so obviously controversial decision on the red card, controversial decision on the offside, two big points in the game, which obviously changed it. Do you agree with the Jota 2 yellow cards, Ruby?
Second one, 100%. That was just him being an absolute dope. First one, the guy tripped himself up, man.
Who was it? Can't remember.
Udogie.
Yeah,
it was. I watched it back in real time. It looked like
that was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
That was actually, that's one thing that is annoying because that was fucking ridiculous. Because how has he not went to the screen for that?
But Ruby, in fairness, he should have had a yellow card before that for the challenge on the edge of the box. So I feel like it was a sequence of events that led to the first yellow card.
Same,
So
but
you can't in his head that he had to give it. It was like 2 wrongs don't make a right, but he kept. Jota was hungry, he was annoyed, so it was going to happen.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, you'd pull it back then and be like, listen, you've just done something again. This is because you've got the ability to do that.
Do you think 11v11 Liverpool would have won that game?
Yeah.
What you thought you were on top before the red card? Because I thought it was
not necessarily on top. Not necessarily on top, but I said last time, I was on the pre-match thing. We always need a bit of a kick, and I said, Thingy would score first. I nearly. Oh, did you clock that? My prediction was nearly right.
Yeah.
So scored. Diaz basically scored. The only one that was missing was Sobo. I was like, oh, that would have been.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, you said 3-1, didn't you? Gakpo, Diaz, Sobo, and Sonny.
Oh yeah, you said that. That's true. That's true. Yeah. But no, I've got a question. I want to steer away from the actual decisions because we all know it's a bit of a Liverpool injustice, but that happens in football sometimes. But in reality,
it happens to Liverpool.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cry me a river. We won. I know. Terrible. But my question is, at the end of the day, you saw 2 good footballing sides and you saw a lot of optimism for Liverpool. You saw a team that stuck together. There's been a lot of question marks around their defence, but Spurs couldn't break down Liverpool. It took really a lucky deflected goal for us to win the match. So you must be quite proud of that as a Liverpool fan.
100%. I think it showed kind of what we know from seasons ago when our defence was so strong, there was no breaking it. If anyone was on the break and Verge was there, they just wouldn't even carry on running to get the ball because they know that Verge is just going to get it. It was given like that kind of energy again. I think Mata played amazing, and it wasn't fair for him to kind of have that. But like I spoke to you guys before we went live with this, it was just tiredness. They were playing 8 outfield players. Come on, like. He hasn't got his body positioning right and things like that. But the way Alisson responded to him, the way the rest of the team responded to him, the way Nunez was responding to the fans at the end of the game, even the way Richarlison went over to Mata, you can tell it was just like, it was sly. Do you know what I mean? Like, he put so much out on the pitch. But the game would have been an absolutely sick game if things were done correctly. But just to finish it off, this is all I'm going to say. I think it's fucking very embarrassing. Are you not embarrassed? I think it's very embarrassing. Your team running onto the pitch, celebrating.
But running on as if it's a...
What, so you don't like the passion, you don't like the fight?
Final. The fight. You had a full team. We had 8 players.
So, at the end of the day...
That's embarrassing. How can you not break that down?
Ruby, can only you, and that's what we did.
How can you not break that down?
Ruby, hang on. What about when Liverpool celebrated that 2-2 draw against West Brom in 2016 under Klopp?
Sorry, let me just get my fucking crystal ball out. I don't remember that.
Yeah, all I say is
you can't say it's embarrassing. You can't because
well, I can because the winner was an own goal.
Who cares? We won the game.
The winner was an own goal.
Who got 3 points?
No, you. I take that. That's fine, but it's embarrassing. You're claiming it as if like your top goal scorer. No, our tired defender that put his heart on the line accidentally kicked it in.
Lovely finish. We're celebrating with Matip. Thank you so much.
Oh, bless them. Oh,
right. Well, Ruby, I'll ask you another one because I still felt like even though Tottenham had all the ball really and we were progressing, we were struggling to break you down. But it always felt like Salah was ready to break in behind. And I think Udogie and Porro played really well. But you had so much threat. Szoboszlai, he didn't score and he didn't play amazing, but you always felt like he had the ability to do something special as well. So did you still feel like you were in the game, even with 10 men? Because you only had 9 for the last 15, 20 minutes. Yeah,
100%. I think defensively, like I spoke about in the pre-match talk that we did, Szoboszlai was just running everywhere, like whether or not he was actually pressing and he was jockeying, he was standing his ground, he was still there whether he was doing them like obviously basic things, him just being there to show an appearance and kind of put pressure on your attackers or your midfield makes such a huge difference. And all you could do really was pass it around the back and hope for the best by getting it in. But it was easier for us for you to try and cross it in because we've got big defenders like Mata.
Yeah, I felt like Van Dijk was best as well. Like when he made that that run and headed it back, and Gakpo just felt like he had so much time and a great finish, by the way. But defensively as well, going forward from set pieces, Van Dijk felt like he was a proper presence yesterday. Yeah,
it felt like he was back to himself. And I will say, Bissouma played flipping sick.
He's so good.
A player.
Yeah, he's rapid. I didn't know how fast he was.
So good. He's so good on the ball as well. The way he just dribbles and just goes past players. And the other thing is, obviously, before in the pre-game, I wanted to mention you said about James Maddison. You said you didn't say you didn't rate him. I won't say that, but you didn't really.
Now, anytime that guy got the ball, I was like, "You fucking dare shoot now, right, and score." That's when I would have been livid because Jack would have been absolutely dribbling.
If he hit us dribbling top left,
fucking my front door.
Honestly, I'm not joking. I was thinking if Maddison scores, I'm gonna get Maddison on the back of a new shirt and just come in like that on the back of the screen. And when he whipped one far post, and I thought it was heading in, I saw the headline already.
Yonks away.
But,
that landed in the Mersey there.
Oh no, Maddison was decent. I don't think he was far from his best, to be honest. But you still saw the ability he has. That first goal he scored was a great goal.
Yeah. And also, he had one saved by Alisson that was going top corner, didn't he?
There you are. That's the one.
Yeah, can't get one that easy past our alley. When his beard's gone, he's on a Mazza.
Yeah, he looks different. He looks a lot different now, obviously. But what I was going to say, Maddison, I didn't think had his best game. Did you, Jack? I thought, annoyingly, he wasn't at his best yesterday. I didn't think Son was at his best. Obviously, scored, but didn't do a lot other than that.
Being honest, James.
Is he injured?
We were quite underwhelming, really. I honestly really don't think Spurs were fantastic. I did a post-match interview and I was saying I thought we were good. But realistically, you had 9 men that we didn't really pose any threat at all. But at the end of the day, we did find a way. And in justice, Spurs lost our last 10 games against you. We've had an own goal and Eric Dyer headed back into Salah. So it feels like a bit like, yes, we finally got that hoodoo off our back and now we can look forward to some proper games. I think Anfield's going to be an absolute belter as well.
Yeah, I think you're going to absolutely, you're gonna have to reap what you sow when you come to Anfield. Like,
yeah, I have to get you back on for the game at Anfield. But just finally, one for both of you. Who do you think was the standout player on that pitch yesterday? Because for me, I thought Van der Ven had a very, very good game for Tottenham. Very quick at the back, looked strong.
One for each side, or just overall?
Yeah, we'll go one for each side. Go on. We'll start with Ruby.
I'd say for you, I'd say Bissouma.
Yeah.
And then for us, I think I've got to go Sober. You know.
Okay.
Everyone.
Jack.
Yeah.
It's quite tricky because I feel like we play well as a team rather than as individuals yesterday. But I think Pedro Porro was immense. I really do. I think defensively and how high he pushed up the field, really. Like, he's always that attacking outlet, but he defended really well as well because your front line, I've said it so many times, Luis Diaz is unbelievable. He had a great game as well. He would be one, but I'd also say I think Van Dijk, he's immense, isn't he? I still think he's one of the best in the world.
Yeah,
fair enough. Guys, concluding kind of thoughts, Ruby. Anything more to say? I mean,
any clips for us? Any clickbait we can have?
I was waiting for a bit more rage, but actually, Ruby's been very calm and composed on this one. So, but any concluding thoughts about the game in terms of, you know, obviously we know you were robbed, and to be fair, I do agree, especially that offside was clearly onside. But yeah, what's your concluding thoughts on Tottenham Liverpool?
It is what it is, isn't it? Like, we're used to getting robbed from 2016.
You mentioned you all used to being more robbed than I've mentioned James Maddison, and that says a lot.
That's a barefaced lie. If you do the ding ding ding, that's a barefaced lie. James has actually said it more than I have. That's
true. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
I hate you, to be fair.
Nah, it's not gonna work. If it's something that you're already used to as a club, it's just like, fuck's sake, that's it. But I think the game would have been a sick game. It would have been a very, it would have been an intense game. We would have seen new sides or brighter sides of certain players, because that is always a very good game, and it does always bring out kind of passion between both sides.
Definitely.
But obviously, due to the circumstances, that never happened, because we had about 2 people on the pitch.
I would ask, after seeing that performance yesterday and seeing how much your players are willing to fight for each other on the pitch, you must be excited for the season, and you've got to believe you can really beat any team.
I've been excited for the season since kind of we've been able to see what these new players are bringing in. I think Endo done brilliant when he came on. I think Ryan done good when he came on. So I think when we have got a full team, we've got an actual full team on the pitch, there's a lot to look forward to, and there's a lot of passion and drive that we've just seen in the last game. It's just going to be a mad one.
Yeah, it's going to be.
And City losing. That's. It was a crazy weekend.
Man United lost. Man City lost. Yeah. I also think one more thing is Tottenham Liverpool's becoming not a rivalry, but I think it's becoming very, very heated every game that goes past. You think about the Robertson red card a couple seasons ago. You think about that game yesterday. I think it had like how many yellows? 8 yellows and like 2 red cards or something ridiculous. Yeah. Last minute winners, obviously at Anfield and now at our stadium.
It's like a weird little derby, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And I'm quite enjoying that. So it'd be very interesting in the next game. But yeah, I'm just going to enjoy it for now, because I know what we're like at Anfield. I can't remember the last time we won at Anfield.
We need a bit of charity. We need a bit of something to keep us smiling here. Otherwise, we've had enough to spare in the past. So I would take it.
It'd be so Tottenham.
I told you, you aren't going to get no ag off me. Like,
happy days.
It'd be so Tottenham now to lose to like a Luton or something. But that's just how it is. That's just how football goes. But that is all we have time for. Big up Ruby as well. Thank you very much for coming on again, especially after that robbery.
Told you.
But yeah, where can people find you? Obviously, you said about on socials.
Yeah, socials. It's just anything. It's just my name, Ruby Dishon. No spaces, no underscores, nothing. Instagram, YouTube, Twitter.
Jack, thanks as well. Guys, if you enjoyed the little review, smash the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, go and check Ruby out. And as always, guys, remember, come on, you Spurs!